G'day again, everyone. G'day. Well, it's been a busy night for me. I answered a few messages, emails, replied to a few comments, started watching some videos. I ended up watching this, and I could not believe what I was seeing. By the end of this, I felt so good. It was so much confirmation. It was wonderful. Jehovah is great. Look at those. What do you think they are? Hey? Some of them would be balloons. Yeah. Some of them are balloons. A lot of them are stars, I think. I think they're stars. And I think, because this is called the STS mission, and I think that stands for something like Star Tether Satellite. Or something like that. I think this whole mission was about the stars. About moving with the stars. It was about traveling within the stars, and if you notice the parallaxes that go on through this video, it's quite amazing. A lot of bubbles too. And also a lot of balloons. Balloons everywhere. You know how like they show like a picture of the Earth, the global bubble Earth. Yeah, they show pictures of that, and it's got like millions of satellites around it, and everyone sort of goes, yeah, right. Well, I think maybe yes so. Yeah, right, definitely. I think there are that many, but I think they're all balloons, some sort of maybe metal or something sort of structure. I don't have the exact or really know if it's definite balloons, but I'm pretty damn sure, from what I've seen, balloons, bubbles. I don't know what the bubbles are up there for. I think that's from pool footage, but I think they're crossing it, they're backing it with the actual footage. This footage here is just straight up, they're up there in a balloon or whatever, floating around. I'd say they're manned, and I'd say they're manned through some sort of resonance, like bees and bumblebees and stuff fly. Because you know how bumblebees fly, they can fly through wind that's going all different directions and real high winds, and travel against it, travel sideways to it, and not be affected by it. And it's because they have a little, like a little air bubble in between their wings, under their abdomen. And when they beat their wings, they resonate this little air bubble. And that chamber of air or whatever it is in there, might be a gas, it resonates. And once it resonates with the resonation of the surrounding atmosphere, which is like 8.5 hertz or something, it can levitate and manipulate that resonance to then control its direction, and therefore, the wind doesn't affect it. And I think that's how they control these. I think they put like gas in some sort of light metallic balls that fall from the sky every now and then. People find them. Sometimes they find them and they'll be melted on one side. They'll also have like a pipe connection. Excuse me, I'll show footage. And they fall from the sky. And sometimes they're wrapped in this, it's black stuff, and you'll see what I mean when I show you the footage. And I'd say that's insulation of some sort. But I'd say these metal bubbles that fall from the sky, I'd say these are attached to balloons, and that's how they steer them and move them around. They're on the gondola or whatever underneath, as uh, Robert Bassano was talking about from Planet Veritas. Because that man's onto it too. But I believe this is the firmament and the stars within the firmament. And look, they're looking up through clouds. Can you see that? See those clouds crossing? They're not looking down, they're looking up, looking out into the night sky. Yeah? See how the clouds obstruct? That's what I'm thinking. Or they could be looking down. They might be looking down, actually. I think they are. Oh, yes, this footage. I think they are looking down, actually. They are. And see the two little bubbles there on the screen that are like reflections? I'd say they're the balloons for this craft that's taking this footage. You'll see a balloon fall out of the sky from that same sort of angle. And then you'll see a plane come in and grab it, just like Robert was saying. And see these? See they change direction and whatnot? I'd say they're controlling them through resonance, harmonic resonance. We know it's doable, and it could be also why they spray chemtrails is to, like I was saying, to cover them up so that we can't see, because there's so many up there now. And once people were, like I was saying in my last video, people were speaking a lot about them and getting footage of twisted up looking balloons and stuff. It was only a matter of time before someone got hold of one, yeah? And yeah, so we started seeing more and more because I've seen a little bit of footage lately, and you can see some bubbles, some balloons in the sky through the chemtrails. And I think that's what they do. They follow the sun around at a certain point and spray around, basically all the way around it, where you're going to see it from that angle. So it's probably a big circle that encompasses the sun. And they just, yeah, like they do it right off the oceans and stuff, because that's the place people are going to look at the horizon the most. They're going to look at the sky the most. This stuff's just normal bull. Talking about this guy, and he's the one that was apparently got this footage and stuff. But yeah, I'm not into it. I think this is pool mixed. See that water bubble? It was a water or air bubble. I'd say that was an air bubble because you look at it. A water bubble, because if you look at it, the image is inverted. It's upside down. If you notice. And yeah, that's what happens when you look through water. If it was air, it wouldn't do that. And that goes with there being water up there. And they could definitely be up there. This is a balloon for sure. But they could be, and they might not be. It could be just all these bits, shuttle bits and satellite looking bits are just added to pool footage. And then this is real footage of them up there. You see the balloons below, see balloons getting dropped, like that one just got dropped. I reckon that they're getting dropped like that. They fly in and drop them, and the package drops and then inflates. Yeah, it's a pretty easy way to do it, don't you think? Just like a parachute. If you look at a lot of these things that are in the screen, they look parachutey, don't you think? And that little speck of space dust that flew by just then, it's right in the center of the screen. Notice it doesn't get small very fast. It seems to stay its size for a long time. I noticed that and I thought it was a bit strange. But I believe these are stars, guys. I believe these are stars, and they're flying around amongst them. They're not light years away and all that sort of nonsense. They literally are flying amongst them. Now that looks like an air bubble a lot. It could be water. I don't know. See, either they're up there and they're lying about what's up there. Or they're not up there and they're lying about being up there. Or they're just in balloons and they're lying about how they're up there. Like, and this footage looks real sus, don't you think? I'll invert the image and have a look at it. I'll look at the negative because it looks like people swimming by with torches or something. Don't you think? You look at the shadows in the background, like all the manipulation of the light and shade in the background. You'll see it looks like someone's body. Yeah, see? Yeah, it's a little too strange for me. So I might, make it into a negative so I can actually see, change the contrast and the sharpness and stuff, play around with it. That there was definitely one of those big black balloons that Basana was showing were launched from the ocean, and they're as big as the ocean liner. This one here has obviously been filmed from the bottom. It's got its gondola underneath, and you've got your balloon there, and it's all lit up. And this is probably from the top of their balloon. Film from the top of their balloon as it went over. So, yeah. And I believe these are the stars. And if you notice the screen, see how they're going with? It's like flying with it. They're following the star trail, guys. Okay? Now, I'm pretty sure that the inside of this star trail is on the left. Okay? Some of them aren't stars, some of them are balloons. There's a lot of the balloons up there. But you'll notice most of them, a lot of them, the ones that are staying, they're stars. They're definitely stars. And you'll know by the end of this little bit of footage that they are. By the end of this video, you'll know they are. Because they have a characteristic that you've seen so many times. This footage is obviously sped up as well. I can promise you that, because of the speed at which this thing that everyone knows and has seen happens. And what I believe this was all about was sending out that tether. Remember that tether that they were filming? Somehow it got detached from their craft. I believe they were tethered to a star. And I believe they tried to pull that star out of the sky. Yeah? And it wasn't going anywhere. So their tether broke. Hence the mission being called STS. It's star something, or something something star, or something tether star, or star tether something. But yeah, I say it is definitely star and tether in those three letters. See how they disappeared? Did you see how the little one, the dimmest ones went first, and then it gradually went up to the bright, and then lastly the brightest? There's like three left here. I was wondering if they have a certain pattern, and they showed this, and I thought, oh, I wonder if that's the three. And they're just flying by them, looking up obviously at them from underneath, and yeah, we actually see one orientation because they circle, in a pattern that they repeat every night. Okay, and yeah, it shifts a little bit every night. But yeah, here we go. See, they were tethered. They were tethered to it, and they tried. That's a star at the end. Because see, the tether is fully expanded now. It's all coiled back up. It coiled itself all back up to the way it was before it was deployed. Okay, its natural state. So it's shorter. Yeah, and it's not as far away as you think. It's not thousands of miles. It's probably tens, maybe miles, maybe. And those things around are stars, and the other things that all look the same those things that are all moving in different directions, not the things that are all moving together, but those things that all look basically uniform in the way they look in the description. Yeah, the ones you can see, I should say, the ones that are close enough. They have a certain look about them, don't they? If you notice, I would say they're balloons or they're some sort of parachute that they could maybe resonate the bottom of, or just one of those balls connected to it to resonate it, or they're just the balls themselves floating around. I'll show you them at the end, but whatever that was, that one hit. That one hit the screen. Did you see that? That one hit the screen. I'll repeat that at the end too, so you can see that. But that one hit the screen, bounced off. Did you see it? So whatever it was small. They're not big, and maybe they're something. Maybe they are something. Because look at that one. Way it flashes. They have the same sort of characteristics, but they're not exactly the same. Maybe they're not ours. Maybe there's something Jehovah has there. But whatever that was, it hit us. It hit this, whatever it's being filmed from, and it bounced off. And you all saw that, the way it reacted. I reckon that those little balls, those metal balls that I'm going to show you at the end, that fall out of the sky in India and Malaysia and stuff. But yeah, there's the tether and there's the star at the end of it. That's why they're zoomed in looking at that end. You'll notice they never look at that other end. They only look at that end, the one that's got that little bright spot that's hanging off the right hand corner. Yeah. It's the only spot that they zoomed in on and really paying attention to, because that's where the star is connected. And it ain't going anywhere. It ain't going anywhere. I wonder if they got the tether off it. I don't know. It might be hot. It might have melted to it. Who knows? I don't know. An angel might have just detached it, because it didn't look like. Because if it broke under tension, you would think that the tether would have recoiled in some way, wouldn't you? So yeah, I don't know. It might just have those characteristics where it's sort of memory foamish and slowly returns to shape. Who knows? But yeah, that was no tether for anything else but a star, I would say. I reckon I'm pretty sure of that. And I reckon, I reckon, this light that's coming in from the left, I'd say that's the sun reflecting off the dome. You can disagree, that's fine, but I reckon that's what it is.
A third mysterious black space object to fall from the sky into rural Spain has caused a panic among the locals. The strange-looking black orb was found in the village of Villavejía in Murcia, becoming the latest instance of an increasingly bewildering phenomenon. It is not known yet what the objects are, though theories range from UFOs to pieces of space debris. The first instance of the strange phenomenon occurred 1 week ago when Spanish goat farmers discovered the strange object. The men alerted the civil guard to investigate, and the area was subsequently put under quarantine. Although the mystery object was not said to be dangerously radioactive or explosive, it was taken away for further analysis. The civil guard stated the object was an aerospace artifact and pointed to the possibility that it fell from a rocket or a satellite. However, a few days later, a second orb fell from the sky. According to the Mirror, Jose Velez, the mayor, implored authorities to provide answers to worried residents. Where are these objects coming from, and why are they falling here precisely? Claiming it was a more concerning issue than the authorities were letting on, he added, "Citizens have real concerns about what is happening and deserve an explanation."
Yeah, so there you go. Well, you hear them describing it and saying how it must be made of strong material, and also light too, because it didn't really make that much of an indent, did it? You can obviously tell it's made some, but mate, that's coming down. So it mustn't be very heavy, which would be, yeah, that would go with things. And also, I would say, they would fill them with a gas. And I'll describe what I think's happening. I was thinking it's just resonance, like I was saying, and the bumblebee, it makes a resonance inside this ball. And by vibrating it at a certain resonance, you get it to stay up there. But just watch this, and I'll show you what I mean by resonance. Oh no, sorry. Yeah, see this material on there? It's all over it. I'd say that's to build it up. Yeah, there we go, look at that. Look at these. Here we go. But they're not what they say they are. I promise you that. That looks pretty official, doesn't it? And the stars shall fall from the sky. So you get it? So yeah, I'd say that they're resonating some sort of gas that's in there, and the gas would be made up so that it has a thickness, so to speak, like you know what I mean. It's got a
cannon, or what's commonly known in America as a hail cannon.
So I reckon they've got this sort of setup, but like in the center, and when it does its thing, like this thing does, it resonates from the center out to the outside of the ball.
And basically what it does, it sends a shockwave into the air. Now, what you should hear is a very large bang, and then you should hear like the scream. 3, 2, 1, go! That was one hell of a woman. The best one I've heard.
Hey, Houston, we got somebody out the front window with a pair of binoculars and a zoom lens. We're trying to
Copy that.
Houston, Atlanta.
Go ahead.
Terry, we're in the process of taking pictures with the 400. We've got several other pictures as well, but the best view we got was through the binoculars, and the best way I can describe it is there's some kind of reflective cloth or with a metallic-looking type of cloth of a structure that's definitely not rigid or it's not a solid metal structure. It also has some type of grounding strap coming off of it, a copper line, what appears to be a grounding strap.
You just think of this much pressure, but inside that little ball, all those little balls, just doing its thing. It's the same one as the first. And this one's a different one. Obviously a balloon, yeah? Those big black ones, launch out at sea. Concur? Sounds like a balloon, yeah. But also it could just be one of those balls, and they're just telling us that it's not hard, it's soft. Don't worry about it. It's yeah. It's either organic or it's just a piece of material, or some sort of material. No, I don't know what it is. I have my suspicions that it's just one of those many satellites up there, and they just happen to have got footage of it. Yeah. So why I'm saying this is because of this thing. Have any of you ever seen this? It's NASA's. Yeah, you don't know what it is? What's called Project Echo. Project Echo Space something. And also this thing here is a Project Echo cover. Oh yeah, that ball, the first one is it's a Echo Flight something. That's what it's called. Echo Flight System. Yeah, Echo Flight System. And I believe that the Echo Flight System is this. I believe it's this. And it's inside this, which is called a Project Echo cover. Okay? And I believe that's what you're seeing there. And you see that thing that was yellow and all wrapped up? That's one of these fully wrapped. And then see the fitting that comes off the bottom? It's like a pipe. And yeah, they just have the gas in there. And they could actually just feed an instrument up into it that detonates its echo, hence the name of the thing, echo, which is exactly what, if you had a gas in there, right, which is what I was saying before, you'd need a gas that isn't, it stays a gas. It's not a liquid, so it's not heavy, but it's a gas that, like air, that air cannon shifts the sound through the air. Well, like the echo could be hitting that gas, and that gas could be a type of gas that once, like any abrupt, powerful probably, shock to it on any side part or any part of the gas gets an almost instant reaction at the other end of the gas, if you know what I mean. So you can hit it straight away and it almost sounds all one action, yeah? And you just do it really, really quick. And you just get the resonance up to 8.73, I think it is. And yeah, and manipulate it like the bumblebees do and the bees do, like I was saying before. And yes, I think that's how they're doing it. But I think the most beautiful thing was the stars, don't you think? Like, it's the firmament. Stars inside the firmament, placed different spots all throughout it at different heights, different levels, and the sun takes their light. Yeah, I think that's obvious. The sun's presence makes them either diminish or just visually impaired, so we're unable to see it, but they're there, you know what I mean? But yeah, how's the footage where it's like moving with stars and then they disappear, or they come and they disappear later? I love it because I believe that they're rotating around the center part. If you have a look at it, the right hand side of the screen, more of it crosses the screen than the left. Not much more, but more. And I believe that's because of the arc of the star trails circling around whatever pole it is. And I think if we could plot those stars, we can know exactly where roughly this thing is sitting, or what angle it's sitting from there. But I think that would be so hard to do. And I don't know. But yeah, it's awesome. Also, that Pickard guy said that it's blue, that ozone is blue, and he captured a sample of blue ozone, blue gas. And yeah, blue. The sky is blue. I love it. And he captured this gas, but so can you understand how the sun reflecting on that gas can obstruct our view? Do you know what I mean? It's like a smoky room with a light at the end. You can hardly see looking at the moon or the sun through clouds, you can lose it completely, or you can see it a little bit, or a lot, depending on how much cloud there is, how much the thickness is, yeah? But you could also go into a different spectrum and see straight through the cloud, cut the water molecules out, yeah? Well, it could be like that. The blue ozone gas could act like a filter that takes the light away. And the deeper they are into it, the brighter they are, maybe, because I don't know, I haven't really looked at how the brightness compares to what looks like the height, but I'll look at it and see if I can come up with anything. But yeah, this is beautiful. I love it. I like how they've got this footage and it's like we're sitting there and for anyone to see and look at, but no one's really looked at it and gone, hey, are they the stars? I don't know if anyone has. I haven't heard of anyone talking about it. I didn't even know this existed. I knew about the tether because that was like on the news a few years ago. But yeah, I didn't know about the stars, which is what I'm calling them. I'm flat out convinced. That's what the Bible says. Yeah. And I believe that when they're in amongst them stars, they're actually above the sun. Because for the sun to use the gas to interfere with, to interfere with the light from the stars, it has to be between the stars and the sun. Yeah. Awesome, eh? I love it. So obviously you're not going to get all that footage. The daytime you're not going to get, because you'll probably see the sun under whatever that is. But they're going higher than it. Yeah, I believe so. And this footage with the black balloon, well, I wonder about the shape of this balloon. It must be stretched like at the top a little bit maybe, or it's got a very pronounced dome across the top, just because of the way the flat earth circle around it and the sun off to the right make that circle, and then it's dark in the middle, and it's dark on the top side and the bottom side there, like at roughly 2 o'clock and 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 7:30. Do you see that? It has sort of a line through it, and it's brighter on one side than the other. Well, I reckon the clouds on the left-hand side, the highest side, and the sun on the bottom side. I do. I believe that is what we are seeing. Yeah. But this is great. And how's the way to describe it? It's got a tether or a wire or something hanging from it. A ground strap or something, did he call it? I can't remember. But yeah, he's saying there's something hanging from it. So I'd say it's gotten away from whatever controls it. And these guys that are up there in their balloons, or I think they even could be up there in like satellite looking structures, and those big things they're calling solar panels, well, they could just be angled towards radars, and they could just be pumping radars or HARP even. I've heard someone say in the past on my conspiratorial journeys, saying that HARP supplies power to the ISS. I know I've heard that, but yeah, who knows? But it could be that they use pulsating, directed energy, like the Hutchinson effect. If you haven't looked into that, look it up. Some great stuff he's doing with static electricity and magnetic fields, radio waves, like taking the charge out of things, taking the whole, I think maybe making them negative, completely negative, every atom I'm talking about, or positive, so they disintegrate, or they don't have their links anymore, their bonds, their magnetic, whatever binds them, yeah, you know what I'm talking about, how matter is held together. It seems to reverse it, if you would, or enhance one aspect or another to get an outcome or effect, like putting wood and metal, melding the two together, and just crazy stuff. You should look it up. It's called the Hutchinson effect, based on Tesla technology too. Anyway, so I think they put a gas inside them, and like I said, that gas reacts at the other end, basically as fast as it's hit or shocked at one end, almost instantaneous, and it can be fluctuated, and maybe even crosses itself. And they wouldn't have to have it in the middle, like I said. They could just have it at the bottom of the pipe being pumped in, like they have it here on this Echo thing, this Echo ball, that machine on the bottom, what it could be doing is pumping that shock wave up into the ball. The shock wave goes, see how it expands across the ball as it travels across it, then it would decrease, so it's all that energy is coming back together again, yeah? And then you could have, because there seems to be a top and a bottom to this thing, so you could have like almost a recoil mechanism on the other side, so that when the shock hits it, it gets recoiled, and you know what I mean? You know what recoiled means? It pushes it back against it, and therefore adds to its power as it travels back across the ball to its origin. And therefore you then time it so you do it just a little, you probably do it a little bit more stronger or something to get it going faster, or you induce a magnetic field or something to propagate the wave at a different speed or something, I don't know. But you would have to keep the resonance going by either making the shock happen every time it comes back. You add to it again, like Tesla was doing across the plate. He was getting the energy to propagate out to the edge of the plate. Because it's a flat circle, of course it's going to come back and propagate right back to him, just like right back to his spot. Or he can direct it so it would propagate to a different spot, because you can send the message out just like they do with radars. Send the message out at a delayed time, at delayed times, you know what I mean? So that when it gets to the other end, it all accumulates, or it all gathers, it all ends up in the one place at the same time, and that place isn't where you originated it from, just because you sent it at different times. Therefore, its regathering isn't its place of origin or the center or the opposite to where it was sent. It can be directed, yeah? If that makes sense to anybody. Also, what they could be doing is putting gases inside these balls, and then they put a magnetic field through it, or it just has a reaction to radio waves or some sort of stimuli that they could either propagate from the ground or from the device itself. I'd say they would be like remote operated or self-operated in the way that they avoid most things, except like when that one ran into the screen, yeah? Or ran into the vehicle that we were in. That was crazy. And yeah, I believe that we can work this out, people. I really believe that we've seen the stars from amongst the stars. That was beautiful. And real parallax, people. That was real parallax, I reckon. Oh, it's awesome, awesome, awesome. If it's not, then it's all the satellites. Yeah? It has to be just all the satellites. If it's not stars. But I think it's the stars. And balloons and satellite balloons and bubbles, water molecules, blue ozone. It's awesome. Awesome, awesome. I love it. I love it, I love it. So great, Jehovah. You're awesome. Okay, see? See, he doesn't lie. He told you how it is. And every day we get closer, closer and closer. Yeah. Now I'm not saying this is exactly how they do it, as you would obviously expect from me, but this is what's running through my head from what I'm seeing and hearing and looking at and blah blah blah. It's great. Praise the Lord. It's wonderful. And I'm glad I can take everybody on the journey with me, and we can all experience this together. We can all learn about how it is, and we can come to our own conclusion, and at the same time be seeing confirmation. Yeah, confirmation. That's the number one thing here. Proper confirmation of his word, where it makes sense every day, more and more. Not just the fact that it's flat, not just the fact that it's a circle, not just the fact that we don't rotate around the sun rotates above us. Not just the fact that the stars are just there. But what about falling stars? Yeah? It could be bits of the stars over time. Who knows? They may be defecating. They could be the angels, like it says some of them are angels. I don't know if they all are angels, but some of them are angels, I know that. And some of them are mischievous angels that are out of place, wandering. And if we're made in their image and we defecate, why wouldn't they? And if they're beings of light, well, I know this sounds funny and it's like, but only if you look at it childishly. But yeah, beings of light could defecate light. Yeah. Beautiful. I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. It's all coming together. I don't know what to do. I don't want to go. But I'm going to have to. Yeah, man. This is what it is, I think. This is where it's at. Wow. Okay. Beautiful people. I'll love yous and leave yous. Oh, man.